Hi, I'm Jamie Chadwick.
Hi, I'm Marion Goedert.
And this is Walk and Talk with Genesis Magma Racing at Circuit de Catalunya.
Between rally and circuit, you mean?
Yeah.
I would say that in rally, the thing I miss the most is the proximity with cars.
Yeah.
Because basically you see them 15 minutes in the morning and then they are gone for the whole morning.
Yeah.
Then they are just back for 30-40 minute service.
Yeah.
They leave again the whole afternoon and they come back in the evening
back
for something like 45 minute service.
Yeah.
And then during the whole day, basically they are gone. And yeah, that's the only thing I would say I miss the most.
So is it quite tough, like the drivers just in the car all day, just sat? The drivers had kind of just sat waiting a long time just in the cars, in between stages and things?
They go from one stage to another.
Yeah.
Which is called road section.
Yeah.
And yes, eventually during this time they can stop on the road section and adjust the tire pressure, work on the car eventually, depending on also the weather condition expected in the following stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also very long days for them.
What's like the law, like in Kenya, how long were the days? Like start time to end time for the crew and everyone?
Kenya was, rally overall you have long days.
Yeah, sounds...
I think we had really early morning meetings in Kenya. If I remember well, it was around 5:30 in the morning. As I work on the weather side with the weather forecaster, we are arriving much earlier
to see everything.
Yeah, we can already pick up some information from the weather crew who are located in the stages. Yeah. Collect all this information, prepare like a summary that we will expose during the briefing with all the drivers and engineers.
So how do you do the weather? Is it relying on people at different points, or is it the weather stations that you have, or what are you most reliant on?
The weather forecaster has some sensors in the stages that he puts before the rally. And on top of that, the weather crew we have, actually, that's the preparation I do before every rally. Mm-hmm. I just watch the onboard camera. Yep. And then, depending on the road condition, the accesses, the network, I put people in these strategic points. And then during the rally, they will just send me weather reports at precise timings to report the road condition, air, ground temperature, sky, wind, humidity, like many parameters.
For rallying, what difference does that make for the setup? So obviously the tyres is a big thing, but in terms of the setups of the cars, is there a big difference in between like weather, or for us, like in the hotted conditions, for example, we've been talking about it a lot here, is the cars are going towards a certain balance. Mm-hmm. And so we're trying to kind of predict a little bit what it might be like on race day. Is it the same in rallying? You kind of have to predict a little bit what you think it might be like?
Yes, so that's the job of the weather forecaster basically. And then depending on the information he will provide to the drivers, I think they will adjust some settings which I'm not completely aware of them because I'm not on the technical part, but definitely that plays a big role.
And how many people in the team in rallying?
I think we were close to 70 people until last year.
Jeez.
Now we reduced a bit. We might be around, maybe 50, 60, something like this.
Wow, so a lot of people.
It is, we have big structure.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But you started in circuit racing?
I did.
Spa, right?
Indeed, I was pit marshal in Spa for 14 years.
Whoa.
I started when I was 18 because I'm a big fan of...
you just because you're a fan of the sport, or?
Of Michael Schumacher. He's my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that's why you became a pit marshal, because of Schumacher?
Yes. Actually, when I started to follow Formula One when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
And it's really my hero. Yeah. And when I was 18, one of my friends was pit marshal at Spa. Mm-hmm. And he told me that they were missing people, so he told me, just come and try. And so you had to attend a couple of races before Formula One. Mm-hmm. So at the time it was still World Series by Renault, there was the ELMS. It was not the WEC yet, it was still 1,000 kilometers of Spa, 24 hours of Spa, so really many categories. Yeah. And I didn't know these categories, It was mainly Formula One initially. And on the first starting grid I did, wow, my whole body was like shivering, and it was
crazy.
an explosion of emotion. And I was like, oh, this
and what
is
year
really
was that?
something I want to do. 2010.
Okay, so it was loud and it was...
Yeah, exactly. And I was pit marshal of Michael Schumacher for 3 years.
Wow.
When he came back to Formula One with Mercedes.
Mercedes, yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. And so the role with Genesis Magma Racing, that's obviously a slightly more, new role now. We're coming into endurance racing. How did that come about?
Well, my first job was in rally.
Yes.
And since Hyundai Genesis decided to take this new challenge to go to endurance racing, I took it like a really nice opportunity to go back to my roots, let's say.
Something you're slightly more familiar with, a racetrack, which is...
Exactly. That's a really nice challenge, and I think it will be a really nice adventure.
I think so. I mean, it's amazing to see how big endurance racing is now, but also the manufacturers coming in, how much effort is going into it. I think it's a really cool place to be. So I've seen glimpses of what I guess Genesis have planned, and it's super exciting.
It is. And what about you?
I actually started in the sport maybe a little bit like you, kind of by accident, but I was a little bit of a fan of the sport in a way. But it was my older brother that was go-karting, and then that kind of gave me the sort of interest, I guess, to give it a go. And then I started in go-karts, really enjoyed it, but it was just a hobby, something I did for fun. And then I kind of progressed a little bit more, taking it more and more seriously, specialised a little bit more in motorsport, and then just kept progressing. And then now there's a lot of opportunities, fortunately, for women in the sport especially. I kind of benefited from a lot of those, and went into single-seater racing previously. I did a little bit of sports cars actually in the British GT Championship, so I did a bit of GT in endurance racing, but then I went into single-seaters, which was probably mainly the W Series, which was the all-female category.
You won it 3 times, right?
Yes, I won that 3 times, and then I went to race in America, which was really good fun. I really enjoyed the racing over there. And then I was obviously looking for the next kind of chapter, I guess, for my career, and have landed nicely here in the ELMS Championship with you guys and with INDY Sport as well. So I'm really excited about this kind of next challenge that we have.
What's the difference between driving in Europe and in America?
It's a good question. I wonder whether there's any differences in, I guess, rallying when they go to different countries. But in America, it's kind of a different governing body in many ways. So the rules are a little bit different. The tracks are definitely very different. The tracks like here, we see there's a lot of runoff and open space. If you get it wrong there, the tracks are a little bit more old school. There's not much room for error in a lot of the places. And it's a little bit more relaxed. I feel like maybe as Europeans, we rightly so take everything very seriously, and it can be often quite high stress and things like that in certain situations. But in America, it's a little bit more relaxed. Everyone enjoys the racing a lot, and it was good fun. I really enjoyed it.
And would you say that it's more difficult to drive a single-seater or a prototype?
It's a great question actually, because I think just to drive both, a single-seater is a little bit harder to drive because they're incredibly physical. Outside of Formula One, they don't have power steering. To trust the car on the limit is quite tough. You have to rely a lot on the downforce of the car. You don't really have any assistance. So like in the prototype, we have the traction control, we have a few more tools that can help us. But then I think to race, the prototype is very difficult because obviously endurance racing, like I was learning in the prologue, that you have so much traffic to deal with. You have different circumstances every time you get in the car. So 1 minute the car feels amazing because you're on brand new tyres, low fuel. The next minute it feels horrendous because you're on old tyres, high fuel, and you just have to get in and adapt to what you have. And then, like I say, with the traffic management and knowing how much risk to take, obviously it's a long race, so you want to be in it at the end, not just straight away fast. I think that's the biggest thing that makes it tough. And also when we look at, I guess, Le Mans being one of our big races, or our main race this year, 24 hours of that is going to be tough, and not just on us but the whole crew. Like, if you think the amount of pit stops, everything that goes into it, it's going to be a super tough race.
You're excited about Le Mans?
Very excited about Le Mans. Have you ever been?
Yes, I did it 7 times as a marshal.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So you can tell me all about it. I mean, I've been a couple of times to watch, but never obviously racing. So yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's well, you can maybe say better, it's a super special event, it seems.
It is, yes. That's I mean, especially as being French, you know.
Yes.
That's a really, really big event. Is it a dream you had one day to participate in Le Mans?
Always in my career, I guess, I've had like bucket list races.
Yeah.
How realistic they've been, I don't know, but like I've always had Le Mans on that list, and I did not expect to be able to do it, but I definitely didn't necessarily have it fully as an achievable goal for a long time. So yeah, it's a race I dream of doing. I think in your first year to be able to do it in an LMP2 car is going to be a very good start. And we got Andre joining us.
Oh yes, on top of that, yes.
So Andre obviously has won Le Mans, I think 3 times. So in that sense,
it's going to be a good help.
Yeah, I mean, knowing about the weather, is that obviously a big thing at Le Mans, is differences in conditions. So
I'm working on that.
Yes, you can help us. You can, I mean, even just that element of endurance racing, the strategy, everything is so different to what I've come from. So yeah, there's a lot to learn in that sense.
And what other races do you have on your bucket list?
Now a lot of endurance races actually. Daytona is one. I have done it, but not in the top class. The Nürburgring 24-hour race is another really cool race. And Sebring, I'd love to do Sebring. It's again racing in America, but yeah, it's a cool race. Are there any types of motorsport or races that you want to do at some point, or have you ticked off a lot of that already?
That's a good question. To be honest, I really enjoyed Formula One at the time. They had like, let's say, big engines.
Yeah.
I knew the V8, unfortunately not the V10. But no, apart from that, honestly, I did Le Mans already.
Yeah, you ticked off quite a lot of good.
Yeah.
And this year you're going to be also doing the rallying side of things. Will you continue with that?
Yes, double program this year.
Yeah.
Busy schedule.
It's going to be busy.
Yes.
And what's your favourite thing about the off-road stuff, the rallying?
I found this sport really spectacular. The fact to know that drivers are actually driving in, like in the nature.
Yes.
There is so many unexpected things that can happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you go sometimes from Sweden to Kenya, and you go from the snow to the wildlife, and I mean, yeah, it's just like never the same. Especially working on the weather side, you can never expect the same condition, you know.
Yeah.
And the fact to know also that, yeah, the information you provide to the team can change completely the result is just something you never get tired from.
Also, from a spectator point of view, it's crazy. When you see what they're doing, it's, I think, one of the best sports or best types of motorsport we have.
Indeed.
It's crazy when you see how close they are, though, to the
Well, it's
track.
also much safer than in the past.
Yes, yeah, but still,
it's impressive.
I think maybe Le Mans is special as well, I think, for the fans, but maybe we miss a little bit of that, like you say, proximity to it when you watch rallying, for example, especially say in Kenya. It must have been incredible for local people to come and see a sport like that. You don't see it.
I hope we can visit one day.
One day. It'd be good to do like a crossover, maybe get the rally drivers to come experience the LMP2 car.
Yeah,
and
you can talk about it with André, because he joined the shakedown in Monte Carlo.
Ah, did he? Did he drive, or did he?
No, he was co-driving
for the shakedown,
with Thierry.
That
was
cool.
Something impressive. You can speak about it.
I mean, being a passenger in a rally car is...
Yeah, it is something completely...
Have you been?
Yeah, once.
Was it insane?
Yes, completely. That's not something you can just expect, you know. It's so, yeah.
Who was driving and where was it?
It was Thierry Neuville, and it was a pre-event test Ypres 2 or 3 years ago. It was still the old spec.
Yeah, okay.
But you know, you are on a super narrow asphalt road at 180.
Yeah. The grip is incredible as well.
It is, yeah.
But I think it's good to experience that, because it's hard to explain to people, even as a driver, the feeling of, I mean, what we do is nothing like what they do, but it's still hard to explain the feeling of what it's like until you literally sit.
But you can see it on your face.
Yes, it's true. And what was it like, obviously, winning the World Championship last year? How was that?
Incredible, because with the team we won it twice.
Yeah.
In 19 and 20, but driver championship, that was the first time. And Thierry was here since the beginning of Hyundai Motorsport, so
been there since the...
really nice accomplishment. Yeah,
it's
really
incredible.
Happy for him.
Hopefully we can carry that now, that success into the endurance program, and
we'll do the best
have
for it.
Some similar moments.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. It's been lovely speaking with you.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for a good weekend for us as we start this endurance racing journey, and
let's hope for the best.
See what we can do.
Yes.